pushing it, but look, Pokemotion riders coming through now. This is going to be nib and tuck on the line. Down to Clay's putting on the pressure. I think he's going to do it. It's 2.2 kilometres to go. The game of chess is started. Is it cat and mouse? There's a little bit of a trail off the back now. He could be losing a few riders. Speedball puts the pressure on. He's riding at 39 kilometres an hour on plus 1% grade. Welcome along. It's Wednesday. It's an alternate Wednesday. It's West London VR Race 4.12 every other week, and it's a Joel Street Jolly tonight, so we're all going to have a jolly good time. And let's have a look at what we've got coming up in store for you. It's 4 laps of a crit circuit that I just pulled out of some local roads, and the third, it's basically a triangle shaped, we'll see in a minute. And basically the last hall on one side of the triangle is, so we expect the attacks to happen there. Now the things are very exciting at the moment. We think Wouter Clays could be in line to win this series, but it ain't all over yet because there's plenty of other classifications, and of course due to mechanicals and things like that, it can go wrong. So let's start with the Ladies League standings. This is slightly complicated in the way we score it, but it's designed to make it more exciting for the ladies racing. So your best 6 results effectively count, and the way we calculate the points is based on where the lady finishes and where the other ladies finish relative to it. Now, all eyes on Gail Robinson here from Twickenham CC. She's in 4th place. She's in 5th place. Has only ridden 4 races, so if she does well tonight and next week, she could storm to the top. Now, everybody above her has done 6 races or more, but it doesn't mean they can't increase their points, because if they score more points than they have in their worst race, they go up a little bit. Judith Newton is the other strong character in there. Unfortunately, she's only done 3, so can't complete the 6. And we look down, Jessica Wright there, Lorna Rowland, Claire Thompson, Griselda Puglin, all regulars in here. Cara Bono, I think, has signed up tonight from the USA. Lovely to see you here, Cara, if you are listening to the commentary. Lisa West, hi there. Claire Miller, currently on top. I think Claire's looking over her shoulder. Lovely lady. I had the pleasure of meeting her unexpectedly recently, and I'm not sure if Wendy Wonderwheels and Linda Van Dyke are in today, because I think they've been doing a lot of other racing this week, so we shall see. Now, as well as the general standings, which are on your left, you can see Wouter Clays is 64 points ahead of Ned Bowen and over 100 ahead of John Samet. Now, so I think the real race and the competitiveness here is third, fourth, and fifth. You see John Sammut from Pokemotion, Nick Greenhalgh from Ratio Racing, Mario Cavaliers, who's just joined Ratio Racing. He's only 1 point behind his new teammate Nick Greenhalgh. So that third spot on the podium is the one that I think is going to be under dispute. It's John Sammut's to lose, and he is a strong rider, so we expect him to hold it. But hold on, we also run this 6-time table. 6 is the best standing, where we take your best 6 results. Now look how close that is at the top. Ned Bowen only 6 points behind Wouter Claes, and John Sammut only less than 20 behind Ned. Nick Greenhalgh only 5 behind John Sammut again. Miles Askew in there with the shout, as is Doug Hart. Mario Cavaliers down to 7th in that one. So in actual fact, everybody's still got something to race for, and we do send out trophies to everybody who gets on the podiums. Lastly, there is another category, but that won't come into play till next time, so you look out for that one. In the team standings, this couldn't be closer. Pokemotion and Moon Riders just 4 points ahead, and Pokemotion recently got into the front. Ratio Racing probably out of their reach now, but a fantastic performance. We have to take our hat off to the next 3. These are local clubs with local riders: Watford Velo, Glasgow United, and Southborough District Wheelers. Absolutely fantastic. And Twickenham, they have been absolutely brilliant. We have to say what a turnout they put out every week. Look at the 2 ladies teams. So Twickenham ladies, which includes Claire Miller and Lisa West and Gail Robinson, likely to, well, I think they are going to take the ladies team prize here. So plenty of rewards for all the ladies taking part from Twickenham. Well done, girls. So here's the course I told you about. It's roughly a triangle. We come out of Northwood Hills there, and we go down to Hatch and Pinner, now into the second sort of, it's a bit wobbly, the second side. And then this third side, it just loops up Joel Street back to the finish. Now Joel Street is uphill. It doesn't particularly show from the screen image there, but basically when you do that sharp right hand turn, as you can see on the far right of your screen, it's pretty much uphill to that finishing line where the white dot is on the yellow line. So that's what Northwood Hills looks like from the air. How many have we got online? 73 riders online at the moment, and that's fantastic to see. 10 seconds to go. This will be a burst of a start. I can see some great names already on there. Oh, Jacek Rohrback. Hi there, Jacek, if you're listening out there in Poland. And off they go. I see Ghost Factor there is up there in 4th place, and he's done a lot of riding this weekend. Oh, somebody's going off the front. Casper headed him as usual. Marcin, as usual, Moon Riders up there as well. This is early days. Carlos Sella in there. He's in the top 6, so look out for him during the race. Jack Samways from Watford Velo. We said how well they've done there in their first season, taking up an early lead from Jan van Beurs. No, Jorgen van Beurs, isn't it? Sorry. Mark Rowbottom I see in there. Kayla Alumi up there. Wouter Claes tucking in. Miles Askew, Paul Hinson. Regular names that you'd expect to see in this, all tucking in nicely. Now remember, this is 4 laps, and what you've got at the bottom is the profile of the course, which looks reasonably flat, but you'll see that the latter end of it is this gradual rise up Joel Street, and you'll see there's 3 sections of it. This is the bottom right of your screen. They're a little bit brown rather than green, and there's sort of 3 little small ramps up Joel Street, and it gently ascends. So look out for that. And here we have the helicopter shot, complete with helicopter noises. Now Beppo Delon, we have to, the Italian, in 1st place. We have to say, and we will look at this later, that this individual has been disqualified from a lot of races, and we will look at how this plays out as to whether his result will count in this one. But there is communication amongst all the organisers of these races on RGT, and he is routinely disqualified from a lot of races for various reasons. I will judge this afterwards, but the thing to look out for is the 6.1 5.4 watts per kilo is exceptionally high and steady, and this has caused some alarm in the ranks of the organisers. So as I say, Beppo Delon is probably, you can see the the output is just out of character with everything else. So that one has to be cast in doubt. Gautam Thacker out on the front. Well done, Gautam, in the West London kit, of course. And nice to see you up in the front group. I'm just trying to work out. There's about 26 in this front group out of 71. So they've split out already. I see Martin Skluderek seems to be... oh no, it's not Martin. Somebody else has got one of the wide handlebar bikes. Jack Samway's off the front here for Watford Velo. I expect Jack to do well. He's a strong rider who has impressed throughout this series. Tomasz Poniatowski, another regular rider, Moon Riders, is up there as well. And again, we have to... I think we're going to discount Beppe Delon from the commentary at least, and we'll make a judgment on where it all finishes. Kato Lumi for Pokemotion now pushing out. Remember that the team classification is between Pokemotion and Moon Riders, and it couldn't be closer. So it really is about how two riders in each team score the points. So it's a bit, we have to sift through it afterwards, and you have to wait for the results, I'm afraid. But that's the way it is. Is this splitting into two groups? That could be James Dix out there on the front, the Welshman in the supporting Ukraine kit. Oh, I see Andrzej Krajewski is falling off the back. And get back on, Andre. Come on. Do it for Ratio, and that's great to see. Oh, Andre's been off the bike for some months and he's returned to racing, so it's absolutely great to see him get back on the back of the pack there, the Polish rider Ratio Racing, and delighted to see that. So the split is around, looks like 39. Andrzej Krajewski is, that's 30, well, he's 37th now, but so then you get the next split. I see Stu Thorne in there. Stuart Hall from Watford Velo in the front group there. Hellstrom now is going out front for Sweden. So in the second group, which I'm sure we'll get a look at later, see Stu Thorne in there. He's one of our West London riders. He, as we look at Eric Hellstrom, the Swede, 452 watts, and it jumped up and down a bit as you'd expect, which is what we don't get from Peloton. Nick Greenhouse out the front. Now, I'll go back to Stu Thorne in a minute, but Nick Greenhouse, I found out today, and I didn't realise, actually has all the King of the Mountains for Joel Street in real life. There's two versions of it, and it's the longer version. As they're going up it now, so Nick Greenhouse, if you beat Nick Greenhouse up here, you haven't seen it. The trouble is we can't actually take a Strava segment off the RGT thing to see, but Nick Greenhouse there is fourth, gone up to third, is actually the real life holder of all the KOMs up this gradual climb. And it's Tom Gates with the handlebars. Now, Tom Gates is a massive rider on the scene from the Netherlands, and he's always been a little bit of a hero to me for the day that his pedal broke, and he still went on and finished the race. It was absolutely awesome, and the man just got off, fixed it, and got on again. Absolutely awesome. So Tom Gates there with the wide handlebars, sitting up as if aerodynamics don't matter, which of course to a degree they don't. And here we have Beppe Delon again out the front with that 6.1 watts per kilogram. It's not natural, and as I say, there are disqualifications from most races that he competes in at the moment. So Casper Heddenham will treat as the virtual leader, really. Benito just pushing ahead of him. Casper just getting round Benito again to take what we will class as first place, because I think the probability is that Beppe Delon is not going to be counted as he gets overtaken there. The problem is, if you're a bit intrigued, the numbers don't stack up on Beppe Delon, and numerous promoters have tried to make contact to verify this and find out, A, who he is, and B, what his actual output should be naturally, and etc. Oh, here we have Stuart Thorne. Now I'll get back to this. He's with Pat Heron from Watford there, I see, another local rider in Ukraine kit. Now, so they just finished lap 1, so they're on lap 2. Remember, it's 4 laps around this one. Now, so Stuart, if you are watching the TTT series, Stuart had a mechanical, he had a dropout. He fell 800 plus meters behind his team and then finished first across the line. Absolutely amazing. And as I say, Stu is a strong rider, and it's disappointing that he's in Group 2 here, but I think he'll be quite happy to work with this little group. As I say, Gail Robinson's in there for Twickenham. Fantastic. Well done, Gail. She is storming, actually. If she can sit in this group, that will put her in a very strong place in the series. And I think Sue Gillies from Twickenham is in that group as well, alongside E. Taylor and M. Jones. So quite a star group, and there's a little bit of a gap between this 6 and the rider behind, which I'm kind of guessing must be Andrew Goff, isn't it? He's the next one back from this little group. So quite a select group, and some good stars in this. Stu Gillies, and I see, is that I'm not sure who else that is. So Jones, I'm not sure where Jones is from. Gail Robinson, Stuart Gillies and Stu Thorne, all in there in this little select group. If they hold together, that will be good. There's somebody dropping off the back though. Have to see. Andrei Krajewski now has been split off. I see that Dix, Kent, Richardson, Marcin Sujlek, James Dix, all dropped by the first pack now. So you've got these riders back in 35th. David Buckley, a friend of mine, Jorgen van Beurs with him. I was trying to work out where this group so they're about 30, so that means that we have 28 in the front group, I think, with Faustino as the last rider, and there's Stu Hall in there for Watford as well, James Curry from Southport District Wheelers, all up there. So absolutely fantastic stuff. This front group whittles down to about 28, and we do see this in these races that you know, despite the fact it's fairly flat, there are those little ramps and key moments, and people can drop out and they reform themselves into little groups, like we're seeing here with Andrei Krajewski, and they have little races amongst themselves. And I think this is the joy of this sort of racing, is that, okay, you might not be able to stay in the front group, but you'll end up having a great race amongst people of a similar standard to you. And this is self-selection. I mean, you don't have to sort of sit there and go, well, I'm a Class B rider, I'll only ride in B races, and you don't get this sort of, you know, A riders dropping down to B races just to win. This is natural selection. You find yourself in a group of your peers, and you all have a little race amongst yourselves, probably working together for half the race, and then sort of attacking where you can, or maybe sprinting at the end. So we like this. We like these little groups forming, so you get sub races. But meanwhile, up the front, Wendy Gallagher. Oh, thanks for getting in there, Wendy. It's lovely to hear from you. Wendy Wonderwheels, in case you don't recognise the name, all the way from New Zealand. I don't know what time it is in New Zealand, but thanks for watching, Wendy. Smash it, ladies, she says. Missing you this week, Claire and Cara. These are about the ladies' battles. Now, we do like the Ladies' League, because it is set up in a way that enables the ladies to have a sort of good race in a pack with the men, rather than getting split out. But what we actually found was that there's some great little battles, as Wendy is alluding there, and there's some great little battles going on with some of the ladies. So, you know, despite the fact that it was all designed to sort of just mean that they weren't riding solo, they are actually racing against each other. So it's absolutely fantastic, and looking forward to getting you back soon, hopefully, Wendy, and thank you very much for the message. We've got a 4-screen split now, and we see different parts of the course. So see if you can pick out your friends, family, or favourite riders. Back on the main screen now. Who we got here? So Claire Miller there from Twickenham. I see Rugen, Mike Buckhurst, and from the USA. He's got the US flag. He's actually a Brit who lives in California, and I think does this in his lunchtimes, from what I remember. Bouglian, Sinnett, and Watson making up the group here. Claire Miller making the most. Now, this is exactly what we want. So Claire might have found herself isolated from the other women if this was an all-women race, but she's actually got some companions to race with, use the slipstream, you know, draft if she wants to, and she can even race some of these people. And the joy of it is But if she does have a sprint, we have Lorna Rowland, another Twickenham rider, and she's with Jessica right there. And love Jessica, absolutely fantastic lady, and she's riding very bravely in sort of personal conditions that don't lend itself to doing this sort of thing, and she's bravely doing it all. So absolutely fantastic. And her and Lorna now going around 58th and 59th, which is not bad. We've got 69 riders still on the road, so that's all good. Lisa West here now, and she's with Gavin Grant. They're both from Twickenham. Lisa is the lady who has actually helped make this ladies' league work so well. She gets all the ladies together, so hopefully she can just get back on and get in the wheel of Gavin, the Scotsman living in France. In fact, there's PJ Champeau, who's a Frenchman living in Britain, and and another Twickenham rider. Just hoping Lisa can get on there. I think the gap's actually expanding a little bit for her, though, isn't it? It's gone out from 12 to 16. Can she make it? Let's hope so. It'd be lovely to see you get back on that group, Lisa, if you can. Come on, guys, you're all in the same club. Just drop off and help Lisa back. Mark Rowbottom from Moon Riders. This is Miles Askew, I see there. This is the front group, and I've just passed somebody. So the person they passed will either be a bot for the cameras, or it will be somebody further back, because remember, this is a crit race. So they are going around in circles, and we are over the halfway stage. So we're on lap 3 in the front group now. Benito up front, John Samet tucked in there. Names you'd expect to see making up: Igor Kopsey, Beppe Delon still in there, unfortunately. But as I say, we'll judge afterwards. We'll see if he finishes way down the pack. We might just overlook it. If it affects the table too much, we'll have to make a judgment. So Simon Hall in there for Watford. I think I called him Stu Hall earlier, didn't I? Sorry about that, Simon. Watford, they've been a class act throughout this. Tom Gates in there. Bouter Clay's tucked in. The name I'm not seeing is Ned Bowen. And I'm just wondering if Ned is not here or something's gone wrong. Mario Cavalius, who's recently signed up for Ratio Racing in there. So if Ned isn't here, this is probably going to be the series win for Bouter Clays, I would think. I can't. Oh, there he is. There he is. Yes, Ned Bowen in the red. Now, Ned, I should know this. I don't know how many times I've watched Ned do this. He sits in the pack and you don't notice, but boy, can this man sprint. And yes, so Ned's in there. So Wouter's not going to have it all his own way. So we've got plenty to race for. Wouter a couple of rows ahead of Ned. Ned obviously keeping an eye on what Wouter's up to. You can't let him get away. But as I say, he's a canny rider. Benito's still out the front, putting out some massive watts, it has to be said. They seem quite high, but he's on the front, so you'd expect that, wouldn't you? Pushing out at Daniel Benito, pushing out at over 400 watts now, but still getting caught. Jack Samway's leading the charge for Watford Velo there in the orange and black. And so they've got great. They've been great this season. So who else have we got? So Simon Hall is in there, and Mark Rowbottom. It's all flashing around a little bit, isn't it? Matthias Bergqvist, we haven't mentioned him, the Swede, wearing the Ukraine flag, which of course has the same colours as the Swedish flag. We all know. Not so many riders with the Ukraine kit on this week. It probably makes it. They're probably thinking of the commentator, isn't it? Because we can distinguish the clubs. Tomasz Poniatowski from Moon Riders in there, pushing out just under 300 watts in the pack. So it just tells you how strong this is. It's 45 kph. These people are not messing around, and this is on a gradient. So they are coming into Joel Street, and they are going up a gradient at 45k. Slightly downhill, just a little bit at the moment, as we do that sharp right into Joel Street, and say expect the temperature to the gradient to increase a little bit. Igor Kopsey there, another one of the promoters, the Slovenian, tucking on Benito's wheel. Can they get away? I would suggest not, but they have created a gap of some 20 metres, which is unusual at the front, and somebody gets lapped further back. This is unusual. It's down to 18. I think they're getting clawed back. I mean, it is difficult to stay out. What the tactics usually involve is the guys on the front push out like this, and a few people drop off the back and can't get back on the group. So what it has the effect of normally is thinning the group, and Benito has put out some strong charges today and has created another big gap there. So this requires some action from the group behind, and that will probably leave a few people off the back. And don't you love the way the RGT graphics paint the names of the riders across the street? I think the gap's closing a little bit, and we'll just see what happens. But Benito's still out the front, putting out some massive watts. Plus 2.7 gradient and still only just under 40 kph. So this is decent riding, and they've just gone over the little ramp there. As I say, this is not a steep climb, but it's the whole of Joel Street's about 1.5 kilometres, gently rising with those three little shaded steps you can see. The big blob on the bottom on the profile is the riders we're watching. James Melville in there, and I would guess the other rider in the GCN kit would be Alistair McAlpine, so the two Glasgow United riders. But Benito's still out the front, and this must be eating up a lot of energy. Mark Rowbottom now for Ratio, pushing ahead and trying to catch up. Casper Hedenham in there, pushing hard too. Mark Rowbottom's putting out just under 300 watts. Beppledon's still on that 5 watts, but it's too steady. This is the thoughts amongst the organisers, and so we'll have to see what happens. Benito's still pushing out a massive 5.6 though. Might have to look at this one, because this is very strong for long, isn't it? And definitely 40 metres away now. James Curry has had a great season just off the bat. Go on, James, get on there, Southborough, in that lovely Southborough. Yeah, he's back in a little group now, along with Andrzej Krzyzewski and James Dix, Marcin Skudrek from Wrocław in Poland, riding for Moon Riders in that green and white kit with the black shorts. Oh, James has just fought his way all the way on, and they push off away, and I think it's probably a bit much to ask to get back on a second time. Oh, this is cruel, and it's so heartbreaking to watch. Faustino, the Portuguese, now soloing in 24th, 4.8 kilometres to go. So just about to start the final lap in 24th place. So our leaders are on the final lap. Alistair McAlpine now in 25th. I thought he was in the front group, but obviously not. Andrew Beale there in 26th. Good ride, Andy. And that is pretty good. It's a shame to see you a little bit soloed there. No, that is a shame. Bad luck, Andy. But I think you've come a long way these days. So very good riding indeed. Well done, Andy. And we look at this little group here. We've got Ken. I think we've looked at this group recently, haven't we? So we know who's in this one. A Pokemotion rider, Akula, 27th with the Welsh flag. It's probably not going to be the one of the first two Pokemotion riders home. John Samet probably will be one of the two. We're just trying to see who else Pokemotion have got, and this gap is now massive. That is very, very big. So we're going to have to. It's uncharacteristically big, so we have to worry about it. And Beppledon Delon as well, doing the same. Casper Hedenham, so these are the regular riders, the people you expect to see racing this one out. Askew and Hedenham, all Jack Samways, names you'd expect to be at the front of this group. And as I say, don't assume that everybody finishes at the top by that amount of distance is going to be readily accepted as the winner of the race. It's a shame, but unfortunately this is what happens, and I shall be trying to verify the front two should they end up winning by these sorts of margins. 3 kilometres to go for the second, for the rest of the pack. The ones that we expect to see fighting this one out, and well, we'll just have to see what happens, won't we? And it's 2.8 kilometres to go. I think this is all a little bit. It's 50 kph, so as steady as it all looks, and you know, to the observer, they're all just sort of trundling along in a group. I mean, this is 56 kph, and this is the second group, and and I think the winner is actually going to be from third onwards, to be honest, because if they're riding at that speed, the ones out front must be exceptional, or there's something that he's looking at. Benito is being, no, I think they've lapped somebody, haven't they? That's not somebody chasing them. They've lapped somebody out the front at Peppleton. So looking at this one, so we'll class this as the real race with Casper's head of them and Jack Samways pushing out the front. 42 kph. 2.1 kilometres to go. They're shortly going to come into that climb, so this is where it's going to be battled out. And I think I think for the next few minutes, I think we just focus on this group if we can, because I think this is where the real race is, if I may say so. I hope I'm not prejudging that too much. It's certainly going to be the most exciting bit, isn't it? Because they're all together. So it's so who we got out the front at the moment? It's obviously Jared Miller in there, and I haven't given him a mention. The New Zealander lives up in Harpenden in Bedfordshire. Miles Askew there for Moon Riders, momentarily on the front. Jared Miller pushing out 300 watts, 44 kph. It's still on a slightly downhill as they mop up some back markers. We still got 69 racing, so that's fantastic. And they'll absolutely surge through the back markers. Hellstrom's taken a lead off the front and gained 30 metres. This one will be legit, and they need to deal with that. With 1.4 to go, that needs to be dealt with. Hellstrom is going to, I think, possibly stay out, as this gap is now 80 metres. He's actually going to catch Lepadella as well. That is interesting. This one I'm more confident of, shall we say, Eric Hellstrom, and I think this is actually going to be a genuine result. So let's see. He's going to get peppers on, isn't he? So that's good. That's good. So they're going to overtake the 50. Benito at the front. I don't know much about Benito, so I'm going to obviously just get some verification on that. Can Hellstrom do it? 700 metres left to go. Ned Bowen's pulling out into Ned Bowen's going for it. Now this is important, because if Ned can get some points on Wouter Clays, I don't think he's going to get enough though, and he's been caught, and that is Tom Gates. Now Tom Gates is a seriously strong rider who's pulling away there. Ned Bowen still in fourth. Tom Gates, can he catch him? 400 metres to go. I think Ned may struggle to keep that gap with Tom Gates chasing him down. It's down to about 40 metres between the two. It's Mario Calavalius now taking it up, leading the. Although Ned's holding that gap, he's holding that gap. Hellstrom now is losing places to, or losing distance to. No, he's gone in ahead of Bepeldon. He's done it, so that's good. And he's going to come in, and it's technically second place, but we'll have to check that one out. Kato Lumi, Locomotion in fourth, and Ned Bowen's back down to fifth and sixth. So he was caught. That was absolutely fantastic. Just look at that. Look at that running. We'll have to have a look at those results again if we can just see that. Simon Hall coming in there. Faustino, the Portuguese, in 24th. That was absolutely fantastic finish. They hunted down Ned Bowen in a pack. He dropped from 4th to 7th. Those positions might change once I go through the results, but nevertheless, Carlos Sella in 18th and Mark Rowbottom 19th. Jan Linden after that. So here we have Hellstrom is probably the winner. We should check out Daniel Benito, who may be, but that was incredibly high watts per kilogram, and there is some doubt about that. Bepeldon again is probably not going to be classified, so we're looking at Hellstrom first. Kato Illumi, absolutely fantastic for Pokemotion in second. Wouter Clays for Moon Riders in fifth. So Pokemotion gained 1 point on Moon Riders in the team competition there. But look a bit further down, we get Miles Askew in 8th, Moon Riders again, so that pulls it back. So it's really where the next Pokemotion rider is. I'm just trying to see John Sammer in 16th. So Moon Riders might have pulled a little bit back on on Pokemotion in the team classification. Absolutely fantastic. Great to see James Curry for Southborough District Wheelers putting in a real spurt. We know he's a strong rider. He's had some great results and he wins that little battle. Andrew Beale coming back in 26th, I think. So solo, that was great. Great ride. Marcin. James Dix coming in now 33rd. Fantastic ride. Kevin Unsworth, haven't even given him a mention yet. Great to see you, Kevin. And he's going to come in 34th. And he's got 400 metres to go. And he's comfortably ahead of my mate Stuart Thorne, who's going to come in just after that. So can't wait to see Stuart come in, but we'll watch Kevin first. Just under 300 metres for Kevin. In fact, Taylor and Thorne are neck and neck. So this might be. In fact, there's a couple of them, isn't there? Oh, Smits as well. We like him. He's quite interactive on Facebook. Harry Smith. So as soon as Kevin crosses the line, I think we need to go back and have a look at this next bunch, because I think it's going to be a right little tussle here. Is David Buckley in that as well? Oh, look at that. Stu Thorne absolutely flying flew past David Buckley, I think, there. Let's see where he finished. That was absolutely fantastic. Stuart Gillies there for Twickenham with Gail Robinson. Gail Robinson back in 43rd now. So that's not a bad position. I think Gail's probably going to be the first lady home. Haven't checked where Judith Newton is. We shall have to have a look and see how that plays out. Let's have a look at some of the results, because there were some fantastic finishes. Andrew Beale standing out for me there in 26th. Well done, Andy. Alison Calpine back in 28th is a little bit unusual. Simon Hall from Watford at 23rd. Alberto Faustino, the Portuguese, ahead of James Curry, but didn't James Curry finish strongly? Casper Hednam all the way back in 22nd, but that's. I'm just trying to look. If you look at the. You look at second place at 16 seconds behind Benito, 19 seconds. So you're really looking at the bunch being on that 22nd mark. But look how frayed it gets, all the way back to Jan Linden at 21st. As we see Andrew Goff, the Australian riding from Boom Riders, coming in on your screens. So basically, somewhere like 4th, Kader Alumi with that fantastic finish, beating the Pokemotion, just pipping Wouter Clays. Ned Bowen dropping back from 4th to 6th. Iga Copsey, another one of the RGT organisers, in there at 7th. Miles Askew and Boom Riders. Mario Cavalius newly signed up to Ratio Racing. 9th, Yad Miller from Harpenden, the New Zealander, in 10th. Matthias Bergfist, previous Middlewood, beating Nick Greenhalgh. And this is Nick Greenhalgh territory, as we put on one of our posts earlier. John Samet back in 13th. Will be a little bit disappointed with that. Tomasz Poniatowski from Boom Riders again. Tom Cakes for that strong finish, beating Jack Samways. James Melville all the way back in 17th. But of course, this is the pack. Don't forget that these are all guys finishing on 25 plus minutes. So they're all pretty much. This is the pack finishing, so don't read too much into it. Paul Hinson, Mark Robotton, Carlos Sella, all there as well. Jan Linden for Pokemotion at 21st. Casper Hednam, a man who likes to race off the front, 22nd. And we start, I think, getting the little spread then with Simon Hall, Alberto Faustino, James Curry, Andrew Beale, who still came in solo, David Kent, Alistair McAlpine, who we saw riding solo. Christian Akula, another Pokemotion rider, just pipping Timothy Richardson into 30th place there. So as we follow Andrew Goff coming home in 40-something, I think, 45th, and he's about to cross the line. Well done, Andrew, and then look at some of those places. Harry Smith's there in 40th, just behind David Buckley. Now this was interesting, because this was clearly a bit of a tussle, this one. We saw Stu Thorne fly through at the end, didn't quite pip Kevin Unsworth, and as we see Martin Wilson coming in on your screens in 46th there. Stu Thorne just pipping the others with that fantastic finish. Pat Heron from Watford, Ingmar Van Beurs, another Ratio rider, and there's not much in this, is there? Look, 28-12 at Stu Thorne, 28-12 for Kevin Unsworth. It was very, very close. Stu Thorne flying there, didn't quite overtake Kevin. And then you get, it's just this 2 seconds. Pat Heron, Ingmar van Beers, Ed Taylor, David Buckley down there from Leatherhead Way, all coming in together, and not far behind Harry Smits, who we love on Facebook. Keep up the posts, Harry, you good bloke. So Sinnott coming in 52nd and 250 metres to go. You can see the finishing line ahead of him, so he'll be relieved that any Sufferfest is about to finish. And my mate Gautam Thakkar just beating about 20 seconds actually. Gail Robinson, who was riding with Stuart Gillies, another Twickenham club mate, along with Andrew Goff. Along with Martin Jones and Andrew Goff, who we just saw finishing. Well done, Gail. I haven't seen Judith Newton's name come up yet, so I think Gail Robinson might be the first lady home. We shall check that out. Van der Laan, 53rd. Just come in. So there's obviously a couple of results still to come on our screens in the right there. Great, they're up now. Claire Miller coming in, and as I say, unless I've missed it, I haven't seen Judith's name come up. Claire Miller, that is a good result. In fact, Claire Miller only 6 places behind Gail Robinson, and that is going to really keep things wide open. So Gail's only really gained 6 points on Claire tonight, and very, very well done, Claire. Just beating Mike Buckhurst, the Brit who lives in California, from Rob Gilmore. Big mention to Martin Wilson, another one of our Facebook favourites, who beat Grant Watson by 5 seconds to take 46th place. I think I mentioned everybody in there. Gautam, especially well done, because I know you rode last night in a race. You did a 300k Audax on Saturday, and you did something like a 60k ride on Sunday, a time trial last night on RGT, and now this. So well done, Gautam Thakkar, absolutely brilliant. Lisa West and Gavin Grant coming in now. Lisa pulling up in 54th place, so she's not going to lose too many places in the Ladies League here. As I say, unless I've missed Judith's name somewhere, that's maybe she wasn't riding today. Gavin just slowing up as he comes across. He lives in the Pyrenees. This is a new lady, and I'm not sure of her first name actually. I don't know if we can dig up the data on here, but Bustamante, and she's flying the British flag. I don't know, Damon, if we have got her first name, so I can be a little bit more polite about it. But she's new to the Ladies League. This is her first outing. Hopefully she'll be there in Series 5, which is starting. We've got one more race left in. So it's Brenda Bustamante. Okay, Brenda, thanks very much for joining in. Lovely to see you taking part in the Ladies League. We're looking forward to, and she just gets out of the saddle, gives it that extra bit. Go on, Brenda. You just shave a couple of seconds off that time. She's doing 41 kph, which is pretty decent stuff. She just come up a hill as well. So, and in fact, that was on a gradient. Absolutely fantastic. Well done, Brenda. So yeah, Series 5 starts in about 4 weeks' time. We've got one race left in Series 4. So we will be inviting teams. We want ladies in the Ladies League, and we want ladies teams as well as gents teams. There's plenty about this. Coco Maisie, Colin Stewart now out of the saddle, giving that big push, and leaving Vanguard just behind. Well done, Colin. Absolutely fantastic stuff with the Scottish flag. Jessica Wright, one of my favourite ladies in the race, is now trundling in 59th. She was riding with somebody else, but is now solo, and so she will, I think, settle for the position she's in, which is 59th at the moment. And oh, there's somebody coming up behind. It's one of the Twickenham riders, obviously Lorna Rowland. Yeah, Lorna Rowland being towed by another Twickenham guy, PJ Chambeau. It looks like they're going to overtake Jessica Wright, unless Jessica can just put in a little bit of a burst now. And I don't think it's going to happen. So I think Lorna's going to get the benefit of the French teammate. Can Jessica just sit on their wheels and make the most of it? I think she is. I think she sees the opportunity. So she just lines herself up for a sprint. This could be good, couldn't it? So PJ is just pulling away, giving Lisa that toe, and it's just enough. I think they work together. Oh no, here comes Jessica. Look at this. Oh, this is brilliant. Oh, that was amazing. And Lorna responds. Oh, yeah. That was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. Well done, ladies. Lorna Rowland and Jessica Wright. That was the sprint of the day, wasn't it? I think that was absolutely fantastic. Well done. And let's see if we have Stent in 62nd. Coming in next. I don't think Judith's. I haven't seen Judith's time come up, so maybe she didn't race tonight. As I said at the beginning, she can't actually win the series, but I would suggest she's got a good chance in the Ladies' League next time round. Although Gail Robinson, Claire Miller's not letting her off easily, but I think we'll see. One race to go, so we'll see what happens in the next race. And some of the more results up there. I think I've been through these, so we'll concentrate on who's on the screen as Stent comes home. 27 kph. Looks at the start line, probably eases off a little bit, and I'm just going to whiz through. This is obviously Judith Newton's time on there. No, I can't. So maybe she wasn't racing. As we get down to Colin Stewart, Coco Maisie is the name he uses. Jessica Wright and Lorna Rowland with the sprint of the day. That were absolutely brilliant, and thank you PJ for making that as interesting as your little contribution to that as well. Claire Thompson, another one of the Twickenham riders in that blue kit, which is very, very close to their real kit actually. A solid club, they're a really big club in West London, in Twickenham, and if you're a rugby fan you will have heard of Twickenham. They really do put on some great events. They have great club rides, and it is a club I would thoroughly recommend. Some lovely characters in there. It's been a pleasure working with them in this series. So if you live out that way, give Twickenham a look. They're a very, very good club. 1.2 for Claire, just coming in now. She's probably easing off after a hard stint and just taking it gently. Don't forget that she is going up this. She's on the steep bit of the course at the moment, so I'm sure the speed will go up a little bit. Just some rain to cool you down there, Claire, and should make you go a bit faster. So just off that little bit of a ramp, and immediately the speed goes up over 20 kph, as you can see. And this is, probably a reasonable speed to go up Joel Street. I mean, I ride up it regularly, and I would say it's quite a comfortable sort of speed that most people might do this sort of gradient at. It's only 1%, but it goes on for quite a long time. Is what I would suggest. So it's one of those things that you will notice when you're going up it, even though it's not particularly steep. So fantastic riding, Claire, and you're going to come in 63rd position, I think. And looking at that, it is all bots behind. So but obviously had a few dropouts along the way. Never mind. It's great for everybody that's finished. We're going to see Claire all the way home. That's what we do. 700 metres, and everybody has their moment in the spotlight. And this is yours, Claire. It might not be Hollywood, but one day you'll be able to tell your grandchildren you starred on RGT with the ZMS broadcast for Twickenham CC, and they'll be very, very impressed. So Claire gently rolls in 23, and she's just going up the next bit of the ramp, so the gradient goes up from 1.5 to 2.8% as we hit that ramp. She's held the speed above 20, which is great, which shows that she's got chomping at the bit to get to the finish, and she's just at the end of the rampy bit. It does level out a little bit before the actual finishing line, with 500 metres to go now. Probably I would say with maybe 350 it sort of levels out. Still 1% here, and don't forget they've been riding hard for a long time, so and there's no real reason to race ahead, because the camera bots behind are not going to get any points for anything. So as you can see, the start finishing line now, which is I don't know how I feel sometimes with the finishing line when I see it coming up, because it's like actually it's all over and the evening's entertainment is about to end, apart from the banter afterwards. But on the other hand, your legs are saying, well, that was quite enough, and I'm looking forward to the rest. But and there's a sense of achievement as you cross the line, isn't there? Come on, wherever you finish, because that's what it's all about. So we'll be back in 2 weeks' time with West London VR. There's plenty more on ZMS and RGT to watch and race in, so make sure you have a good look at what else is on. The next race, we've got an 11 lap crit around the very famous Hillingdon circuit which has got its whole own history and everything. And we look forward to that. That will be exciting. We'll have to check, but I think Bouter Clays is probably short of him getting a Tacanical, going to take the series. But have a look at that 6 of the best. The Dirty Dozen Championship comes in the next race for the first time in the season, and the ladies teams is probably going to be won by Twickenham, but the ladies league individuals is absolutely fascinating, and that is the one that's absolutely gripping me at the moment. It's brilliant who's going to win the ladies league, and when we see those little tussles like Laura Rowland had earlier, that's where Laura Rowland and Jessica Wright, that little tussle was absolutely superb, and I think the ladies league is something I'm thoroughly looking forward to in Series 5. Well, that's about it for this evening. If you want the results, www.westlondoncycling.com. That's westlondoncycling.com. Wait a few hours and the results will be up there. I will check out Benito, but I think maybe Hellstrom is the winner. It's a little bit unsatisfactory to be saying that in the commentary, but unfortunately we're seeing a lot of this in e-racing, and it is getting cleaned up by the organisers, and that's why we say it. So look out for the official results later, and we'll see you soon. Thanks very much, and thanks to Damon for putting on another fantastic ZMS broadcast. Bye.